Welcome to Photo Finds. I'm your host Kevin, and this week we're doing something different. We're just going to Ripley's Believe It or Not. Now this is a location along International Drive, which is not too far from SeaWorld and I guess the connected tissue between SeaWorld and Universal Studios, Florida. Now as you step into Ripley's Believe It or Not, which is built, as you saw in the last image, like a building kind of falling into a sinkhole, you'll find the gift shop, which is also where you're going to end up. Now, of course, once you're inside the attraction, then the things really get going. Now, you're going to want to take your time inside this attraction because it's compactly built, which is to say that the exhibits are right on top of each other. Go slowly, not fast, or else you will miss things. So this is a kind of Pepper's Ghost effect right at the very beginning of the attraction. And being a Disney fan as I am, the Wall-E here in the corner caught my eye. This is a non-functioning unit, however, but it looked like something interesting right next to these crazy mirrors. You'll find lots of mannequins and that sort of thing to interact with at Ripley's Believe It or Not, including a torture chamber later on. And the first section is almost completely taken over by illusions, optical illusions and that sort of thing. I don't know what you're seeing here. I see a rabbit, but in fact you can see a duck facing the opposite direction of the rabbit if you look long enough. This is one of those things where you put your hand in and it scares you and startles you, so you get the sense that it's the kind of interactive museum that you would want to bring a child to, perhaps. Or then again, maybe not. So this is a mannequin reproduction, obviously, of some strange rituals that you would see in other parts of the world. And in fact, they have a genuine shrunken head, so it's kind of a gross thing to look at. So maybe your kids would appreciate the grossness of looking at an actual human head shrunk down. There's another view of it from the front side. And then they have this Fiji Mermaid, which was once exhibited as an actual mermaid object, although of course it was a monkey with parts of a fish attached to it. This is somewhat new in the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum. I don't think it's been the last time I visited, which was a few years ago. This is not another patron. This is someone waiting to have her picture taken, and she's a mannequin. And in fact, on the opposite side of this is someone looking to take her picture, and he's doing it kind of across the doorway. So the idea is to trick the casual visitor coming in into thinking they're interrupting a picture. There's the photographer. He looks a little bit less real maybe in this photo, but when you're moving at a natural speed, it looks like you're interrupting a picture. And there you can see, here's how it works in practice. There's the photographer, and there's the subject. Some people were taken in by it, but most of them were not. A lot of bead art and kind of folk art, including this seashell Captain Jack Sparrow in the corner. Here's a closer look at the seashell Captain Jack Sparrow. And then a mannequin stuffed inside of an oven. Apparently someone once did that at one point. Really strange human tricks is kind of the byword, or what they try to do at Ripley's Believe It or Not. So sometimes these are recreations, as this one is as well, of what people actually look like. So it's kind of a human oddities museum if you've not been there before. Now this is new. It showed up at the end of 2012 or the very beginning of 2013. It's an actual prop from the movie Edward Scissorhands. Now there's that torture chamber we talked about. They show you a few different torture devices, and there's the Iron Maiden, for instance, and means in which people were put to death and tortured in other ways. And so it's kind of a gritty thing to have to walk through. And so if you do have your small kids, you might have to carry them, close their eyes, that sort of thing, to make it through that part there. Now, after that, you come to a one-way mirror, and you're looking at other people looking back at you, and they may or may not be doing what the mirror is telling them to do on their side, which is curl their tongues. Then it's on to a couple of oversized things. The world's tallest man, represented here by a mannequin, and then giant tires, that sort of thing, giant chair you can sit in, as well as a piece of the Berlin Wall. That was kind of neat to see, a little bit of history thrown in here as well. And then there's a shooting gallery. It seemed a little bit randomly placed, and this is the sort of thing you have to pay for to do. Several other mannequins about human oddities. A guy with bulging eyes, a guy who can do strange things with his mouth, a woman with a number of rings in her neck and so forth, the man with a candle in his head, and there's discs in this person's mouth. So it's really kind of the gross out kind of effect they're looking for as you make your way through these mannequins, and you wonder that they're actually real. This guy, in fact, with the forked tongue is real. I've seen him next to this exact mannequin at the IAPA show at one point in the past. You end your visit by going down this tunnel with creepily lit pastel faces and making your way over to this, which is a rotating, spinning tunnel of dark light dots, I guess. It is extremely disorienting, especially because there's also some mirrors in the back there to kind of make it double in upon itself. So that takes us to the end of this week, and next week we'll get back to giving you some more updates from around the parks, especially Disney parks. In the meantime, we thank you as always for paying attention, and we'll catch you next time.